Hegseth. So this was released last night. And I will admit, when I first saw it, I was like, say what? This cannot be right. This cannot be happening. What in the world? How? And then the more I let it sink in, the more I was like, let's effing go.
Yeah, I didn't have the initial freak out even. Because I mean, he's a combat veteran. I'm okay with this. I'm totally okay with this. I like that it's not that these career politician-y people are not at the top of the list for him. I like this. The unconventional. I like that. It doesn't bother me
It's definitely
at all.
unconventional. He's young. To me, like he's young, and I just like at first I was like, this is crazy. This is like, because I was on the radio, I should own the radio station. You know what I mean? Like, to me, it felt like that because, yeah, he's got 20 years of combat experience. He's got great degrees. He's got a Bronze Star. But there was also the part of me that I was like, is he really qualified? And then I thought, wait a minute.
Yeah.
The dude in charge now, who's qualified on paper, has been a disaster. So how can he possibly be worse? You know what I mean?
I think he's.
So I got on board.
I think and I don't know. He's not that young. He's 44, and I don't think he's. I mean, he's a brilliant guy. He's brilliant.
Yeah,
he loves this country. I think it's a fantastic pick. I really do.
Tulsi can't do it because of the rule about how you can't be active duty within like 7 years of your appointment. There's like some weird rule about that.
And I think that's a dumb rule, you guys.
It's pretty dumb. I don't understand the rule, but there is a rule.
I don't either. We were talking about that in pre-show, and I'm like, I think that's just the dumbest. I don't understand why they have that rule, and whoever made that rule needs to be punched in the face, because it's just like, who makes these rules?
There's got to be a reason that we just don't understand, and I haven't looked into it enough to know. But that is a rule. And also, Tulsi has been a Republican for about 45 minutes, so maybe putting her in charge of the entire Department of Defense,
right,
is a little bit of a rush. You know what I mean?
Like, give her a couple years. Maybe she can do that, and then in 2028.
Yeah, or like maybe I'm sure Pete will need like an assistant secretary of,
or she could do something else on in the administration. There are plenty of other roles that she can play that it doesn't have to be defense or military. She's a strong leader, and she could do a lot of different things.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So as you might imagine, there has been some reaction. So Bonchi, who from Red State, said, I understand the he's not qualified posts about Peter Hegseth. I just couldn't care less about them. The DOD is a dump of corruption and waste. Picking someone qualified would mean picking someone who was part of the problem in the first place. I'll take the chance.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Yeah.
Love it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. We also have a reaction from Christian Watson, who we've also had on our show. It's been a long time. He said, this is not good. Pete Hegseth called for Iran to be bombed after Trump killed Soleimani, believing that action did not go far enough. He is a war hawk and is not conducive to an American first foreign policy outlook.
I don't agree with that. He's totally America first.
He's definitely America first. I don't, the war hawk thing, I don't know to what extent that's true. I mean, that is a little bit concerning that he was like, bomb everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, he's not going to be living in a like making decisions without consultation, right? Like, he's not just going to be pulling levers without some serious thought and an understanding of his new position. So I don't know. That's a reaction. I wanted people to see the good and the bad.
And he's not the guy that's going to put our sons and daughters in harm's way just because, out of pleasure for himself.
Right.
You know what I mean? And because he's, arrogant and selfish, he's not going to do that. I don't think he's that guy. I don't.
Elizabeth Warren, very upset. She said a Fox and Friends weekend co-host is not qualified to be the Secretary of Defense. I lead the Senate Military Personnel Panel. All 3 of my brothers served in uniform. I respect every one of our service members. Donald Trump's pick will make us less safe and must be rejected.
That's so condescending. The guy's a combat veteran. It's just condescending. Like, you can't just say he's a Fox and Friends weekend co-host. F you, Elizabeth Warren. Have you served?
And what gives her the qualifications to lead the Senate Military Personnel Panel? Just because you have brothers? Like, where are your qualifications, Pocahontas?
Well, she is a Native American. I mean, this is the thing. Like, how dare she say that? The guy served. He's a combat veteran. Like, take all the seats.
Yeah, take every last seat.
Yeah.
She got absolutely killed.
I hope so.
Oh yeah, people
She
were.
deserves it, you know,
Whew.
because them belittling him to just being a weekend co-host. I, he has a whole resume of things that he has done.
Yeah.
F them.
Also, I don't know if you guys noticed what we're wearing today, but look at my jacket from
Oh, it's
XXXY.
beautiful. I love the color of that. Is that velour? What is that?
It's velour.
Oh, I love that. That's
I love it too.
gorgeous. Look at
It is
mine. I'm
such.
a woman.
I'm a woman.
I'm a woman.
Yes. Yes, girl. Yes, girl. And that is the point, right? That's the point of this line of leisure wear from XXXY Athletics. Of course, this is the brainchild of Jennifer Say, who used to be brand manager at Levi's and then got like booted because she was too outspoken about COVID and other things during 2020. And now because she used to be a gymnast and now she cares obviously about women's sports. And so she has started this company that makes the best clothing for workouts and leisure wear. It can compete with the highest end brand names out there, except that it actually does the things that we care about. Like they are a brand that we can support because we know that she supports women and women only in women's sports. And so it is about freaking time that we all support brands that actually align with our values. This is a great way to do it. And you can, of course, get a discount. You can use code CHICKS20, CHICKS20 for 20% off of your very first purchase at thetruthfits.com. thetruthfits.com. Or if you want to make it more complicated, you could also do xx-xyathletics.com. But it's really super easy to just go to thetruthfits.com. The quality, amazing.
Yeah. Like this is really thick. I mean, it doesn't shrink. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, their stuff is awesome.
And the leggings, you guys, the leggings are phenomenal.
Oh my gosh.
So
Yeah.
check it out. Get yourself your discount at thetruthfits.com. All right, let's go for some more reaction. So beyond Elizabeth Warren, we also heard from Geraldo Rivera, who said, "Bravo, Major Pete Hegseth is an inspired choice for Defense Secretary, awarded the Bronze Star. He's a combat vet with service in Iraq and Afghanistan and strongest in his support of our veterans. Respect."
Well, look at that.
That's what
I think that's lovely. Look at
it is
him.
lovely. It is lovely. And Sean Davis of The Federalist also weighed in, saying that he's a 20-year military vet, a decorated combat vet, a recipient of the Bronze Star 2 times, and graduate from both Harvard and Princeton.
Yeah.
And this is what his response was to Elizabeth Warren. "You falsely claimed to be an Indian to get a job you couldn't get on the merits. Sit down, Pocahontas."
Exactly. She left all that other stuff out. The fake Indian left all that other stuff out. She does really need to take all the seats.
Every last one of them.
Yeah.
And then there was Joy Reid. And this is the kind of snide, hideous, awful take that you're going to hear from people like Joy Reid, who's just...
Yeah, which is
awful.
why her ratings have tanked.
Former and future
50%.
president is moving quickly to fill the clown car and round out his cabinet
clown car.
before he changes his mind and fires them all. Moments ago, Trump announced that he has selected Fox Weekend morning show host, you can't make this up, Pete Hegseth, to serve as Secretary of Defense, because why not?
This is why you've tanked. Well, I mean, one of the reasons why you've tanked. And she's going to be fired soon. So,
God,
karma.
So they're talking about a lot of firings at CNN. So I don't know what's going on. I mean, with MSNBC possibly for sale and firings happening with hosts at CNN. Now that's a rumor that came out yesterday, but like it's getting legs.
Well, I
the
feel
people there they're way overpaid and they need to cut back.
Well, I mean, the people at CNN, I feel like the executives at CNN are a little smarter than the executives at MSNBC. Because they're looking at things, they look at the landscape, just a hair, because they look at the landscape and they're like, people don't like this crap. They don't like to listen to this crap. The people that work here are awful. You know, the on air people are just terrible. They're not attractive to Americans. So what are we going to do to change that? Plus the fact that they lean left. I just think that they lean so far left. They lean really far left at MSNBC. So, I mean, CNN's you got like the Scott Jennings and stuff that kind of balance some stuff out. But I mean, I think they're starting to get smart and think this isn't not going to work. And like the stuff that worked in 2016, where it was just like Trump, 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 Russia, 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 they're not getting momentum from that this time.
Right.
Because everybody now is like, yeah, we're onto you. We're not buying that bullshit anymore. We're just not. And so people are turning it off.
Clearly, as the numbers reflect. All right. Kaylee McEnany also weighed in on the Pete Hegseth decision.
Look, I was stunned when I saw it, but then it made all the sense in the world. You know, I was with Pete Hegseth. I was guest hosting the weekend show on October 8th. So the day after the horrific October 7th attack. We started at like 5 a.m. that day, Jesse. And there's Pete Hegseth at 4:58 a.m. at the wall with a map of the Middle East, naming every single country by heart and the interplay between the actors and how geostrategically this would work if there was a larger conflict. So this is the guy for the job. Smart, patriotic, can't say enough good things about him. It makes sense, and it also helps that the guy you're looking at is central casting, Jesse.
Yes, central casting, something Donald Trump always looks for.
Okay, so the big question is when he takes this job and when he goes, who's going to be on the couch on the weekends? Who's going to take his place at Fox, right?
Yeah.